Hey, hi everyone, welcome to the course Become a Business Analyst, your path to success. As discussed earlier, this course is structured around the BABOK guide and for simplicity is divided into 9 comprehensive modules. We have already completed modules 1 to 7. Module 1 introduces business analysis ideal for beginners or those from non-IT backgrounds. Module 2 covers strategy analysis focusing on defining business needs and recommending solutions. Whereas Module 3 explores business analysis planning and monitoring like planning BA work, identifying stakeholders and tracking performance. Whereas Module 4 dives into requirement lifecycle management, guiding how to manage and control requirements throughout a project. Module 5 is all about requirement analysis and design definition, where we're defining, validating, and designing solution while avoiding scope creep. Module 6 discusses BA information management, focusing on organizing and maintaining BA data with traceability and reuse. Module 7 deals with risk and dependency management using tools like SWOT, 5 Whys, Gantt chart to ensure success. And now we are in a module 8. We have already learned about interface and integration, which we have covered UI versus system interfaces and defining interface requirement for smooth data flow. To make it easier to follow along, each tutorial video is numbered sequentially. If you ever need a quick refresher or clarification, you can easily revisit any previous tutorial at your convenience. All supporting documents and useful links are already available in the video description for quick and easy access. Now, welcome to tutorial 21, data requirements, user roles and permission. In this session, we will cover how to define data needs, identify user roles and set the right permission to ensure secure and efficient system access. So without further delay, let's get started with tutorial 21. Data requirements define the specific data elements, attributes, and structure that a system processes or business function needs to operate effectively. So basically, this is about figuring out what kind of data the system actually needs, like customer name, email, loan amount. So those are data element, and along with that we also think that means about their attribute, like say format of that particular data element, like we want text data, we want number data, we want date data, means something like that. They all together called as data attribute. And once we have that data element along with data attribute, we organize that using structures like tables or field in database. It's like deciding what ingredients we need before cooking. These requirements ensure that the right data is captured, stored, and processed and retrieved to support business operation and decision making. Means once we know what data we need, we make sure it is captured properly, like through forms or anything else. Then it gets stored safely in our database, means in short, and can be used later whenever it is needed. So the whole point is to help the business run smoothly and make smart decision based on data. And that's the point. Means if we want to take a example like approving loan based on customer financial history. So how we come to know the customer financial history? The only thing which talk with us the data of the customer, and using that we can identify the financial history of the customer. So this is all about data requirements which on which business analysts generally work in the business analysis process. In the picture you can also see the bank loan application. Here the data elements like full name, place of birth, date of birth, full address, status, nationality, social security number, email, all these things are there. And along with that data attribute should be there, but as we consider this as a hard copy form, so here we don't have any control. Okay, that such forms are filled up by the pen, means these are the hard copies, so customer filled it by offline. But we are developing the loan management system, so we will check out with a real world loan management system application how it works. So here you can see the screen, means first step of loan while applying the loan for any particular bank, and for in our case it is Noah Major Bank. So here you can see the data elements like a full name, then place of birth, date of birth, then full address, All these things are we considered them as a data element. In other words, they are also called as field as well. So now you might have comfortable with the what is data element. Now we will see what are the attributes. So now focus on date of birth. So once I click here, you will see this calendar. So why this calendar is required? Because we want, in the date format. If we allow user or a customer to write the date of birth, then they can use any format. Means they will first put year, then put month, then put day, or whatever they want, or they will write in a word as well. But we don't want that. Our data is, means how they should supply us data is in our hand. So we generally use such calendar drop down there, and once we click on the date, you will see now we have a date birth of customer. So it is in the form of month, month, date, and year. So we are capturing the data in this particular format. Apart from that, if you go to the social security number, so SSN is nothing but we have some numerical value, something like that, and someone write it down Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, right now it is not allowed here, means though it is very big name, but we don't want this goat right now here. SSN number is a numerical value. So once someone try to write this thing, as soon as they write, customer write this, it will flash the error message, please enter correct SSN. So such things are also involved in data requirement. Now let's move to gender. Means if there are 1 or 2 3 4 gender, and we just want to ask customer pick any one from that, so such things are called as drop down. So once I click on the drop down, it will show me two gender, male and female. And if I select the male, then it will show me only male. Means it is not like that you write anything here. So it is kind of compulsion for whenever you use these such forms, that it is kind of compulsion to the customer to choose one of the options provided. Now let us check status field or a status data element. Here are four options are provided, four compulsory options are provided, and as a customer they need to choose any one of them. So if they click on any one, means let us say they click on married, so only one option can be selected. If they click on somewhere else, so there will be no check mark now, means the permission to only choose one option from this particular status. So now what we have seen, the data element, means they call them as a field. Then types of data, means data attributes, means whether it is date, then the gender, which is called as drop down or pick list, something like that. Then we have also seen the error message, like please enter correct SSN. And then we have also seen the checkbox type of attributes. So all these things is nothing but data information or data requirement which is required. But apart from that, this data should be secured. Okay, this is also one of the most important thing, means it is stored somewhere and that storage should be secured. So this thing we will also see in this particular tutorial. And one more thing is involved here, that who can see this data, who cannot see this data, who has control on this data, who don't have control on this data. So this is all about user role and user permission. All these things get together, we will call them as a data requirements in business analysis. So it is all about knowing that what data we need from the customer, in what format we want it, where we going to store it, how we will keep it secure, who can view it based on their role and designation, and to what extent they should have access. Getting these kinds of detail from stakeholder is a core part of business analyst job. And as a BA, it's super important to have clear understanding of all these concepts. That's exactly why we have included this tutorial in our series. So you are well prepared before stepping into the real world project. Now let's break down it and look at each part one by one. Very first is data attributes. Data attributes are the individual pieces of information or a field that describe a specific data entity in a system. Each attribute represents a characteristics or a property of that entity, such as name, data, amount, or status. Means a data element and data attribute combinedly they called as a data attribute. Means no one called data element separately and data attribute. If someone talking about data attribute, then it is mean that the data element means the what kind of data they want and in which format they want. So in collectively they called this a data attribute. So it is all about small details we stored about something in the system, like name, date, amount, or a status. Means for simplicity, let's say we are talking about a loan. So the system should know, means system needs this thing, how much, when it was taken, means how much loan is required, when it was taken, what the status of loan, etc. So all these things, all these pieces, if you know that particular system should have, then on the basis of that, that system will take the decisions. So let us see the example here. Means applicant name, we can see that the name of borrower should be there, then loan amount, the amount requested, application date, that the date loan was applied, then status, the current stage of the application. So all these things, all these data attributes required in the system, because on the basis of this only we can take the decision. On the basis of this only, the system track them, because there is no one interacting continuously with the system, or there is no human interference every time. What system works on, system only works on data they provided. If someone saying that in the statements, in the status, that they are married, then system consider them as a married. Someone say that not married, then it will consider as not married. So it is kind of first conversation with the system, and on the basis of that particular conversation, system will start working on it. So all these things we are talking about the system. But as a BA, what is our job? We as a BA, we define like what attributes are required. Means when we talk with stakeholder, so we generally take such information, what attributes are required. First we ask what information do we really need. For example, a customer name, then email, phone might be must have. So we list out these important fields and system should capture it. So this is our job to know what attributes are required. Then what format or a data type should they follow. Means here we decide the type of data for each field, like name is text, then loan amount should be in number, then date should be in a date format. We have already seen what is date format. So this helps the system understand what kind of input is expected here. Then which fields are mandatory and optional. Well, what is this? We mark which fields are required and which are optional. Means for example, let us consider phone number might be optional, but email could be mandatory. Means it's fine in the form if you skip the phone number, but we want your email ID and it's compulsory. So this tells the system what user must fill in. Means then system develop on that basis. If someone unable to put the email ID, then system will throw the message that boss, the email ID is required and you need to put it there. Means we have seen the SSN number example. Okay, in SSM you can't write the name, something like that. You need a number. If you are not writing a number, then SSN will throw an error, and we have seen that as well. And then last is any default values or validation rules. Means finally we check if any field should come with default value, like today's date for application date. Means if I started filling the application, then automatically that particular date when I start filling the application should be punched on the application form which I am going to fill. So this is nothing but default values which we are talking about. And the other rules, like if we are giving the email ID, so the @ symbol should be there, and amount should be more than 0. Means if we are applying for any loan, you can't leave the amount 0. It should be more than 0. So such validations we can also add. And getting the information from the requirement is all means getting such information from the stakeholder is nothing but data requirements, what exactly we are learning right now. Now let's see the example of data attributes for loan management system. Sometimes we call them as a data dictionary as well. So attribute name, application ID. Data type should be string. String means word and combination of number. Then description, it should be unique ID for each loan application. Definitely means someone is applying for application, the application id should be unique. So system need to work on this thing. And as we see, it is mandatory or optional, so write it down. Means here we have mentioned that yes, it is mandatory. So such information, gathering such information is our duty. What exactly I am trying to tell you then? A loan type is there, application is there, but there may be whatever the field, whatever the attributes there. It's not means it's not important which attribute are there and which are not. I'm telling you, gathering such requirement is our job, and that's why it is very important to know what is data requirements. Then next is data structure. Well, data structure is little bit tricky to understand, but I try to make it as much as easy I can. Well, data structure as the way information is organized and grouped so that the system can store it, connect it, and retrieve it easily. It's like how data is grouped, organized, and connected in a system so it can be stored and used properly. To get it more easy, just imagine a well organized cupboard, like shirt in one section, pants in another, socks in a drawer. And in a first picture you can see that it is everything is messed up, and in the second picture you can see that everything is properly maintained. So if, let us imagine I want a socks. So from where you will it is more appropriate to get the socks in a minimal amount of time and without any hassle. So you can easily say that where the particular cupboard which is very organized, from there it is very easy to pick the socks. So similarly, it's about grouping related information together is nothing but data structure, so that system knows where to store it, how it is connected, and how to find quickly whenever any data is needed. So this is nothing but data structure. It is just organizing the data properly, neat and clean. So let's go into another example of a data structure and now see real life example, means how data is there. Let us see, means we are in a loan management system. There is a customer information. Customer name is given, mobile number given, email ID given. Then that particular customer name, whose name is John Snow, is applied for loan. Then the loan detail is there, $5,000. Then loan type is vehicle. Then tenure is also provided. Then EMI information provided. EMI amount is also provided. Then same customer is now applied for the loan, but this time it is home loan, but customer information will remain same. It is not going to change, though the loan amount, tenure, then loan type, everything got changed. So what is happening here, these such things are called as data redundancy, means repeated data are coming into the system. So to get overcome this, see how relationships are maintained. So here you can see that customer information will remain same, and that customer info, on that particular customer information, whatever whenever it form is get filled, one automatic field get generated. It is called as account ID. So whenever this account ID will remain unique. So whenever any customer go for loan detail, or any loan officer want to check the detail of that particular customer, what he will do, he will only put the account ID and loan type. So all the detail of loan will be in front of that particular screen. So this is the use of going through the relationship in the data. And when loan detail comes, then automatic loan ID is also get generated. Then if we put this loan ID into the EMI detail, then all EMI detail will come, so data is not getting repeated every time. So whenever Jon Snow apply for home loan, he will have different account ID. Whenever Jon Snow apply for personal loan, then he will have a different account ID, or we can call it as loan ID, whatever name you want to give, but it is unique, means it depends upon the type of loan, and not every time we require to provide entire detail and entire data of John is stored. Now John only first to three fields, which we can see name, mobile number and email, save only once, and on the basis of that it is, now we can go to various types of loan. On the basis of that, we can go to the various EMI options as well. So data redundancy get reduced. So this is nothing but data structure, what I am trying to tell you. It is, I know it is little bit tricky to understand, but whenever you come into the organization with when you boarded on any project, so you can understand what is exactly going on in the data structure. And definitely on the basis of that, you will start also gathering the requirement as well. Now let's move and see data storage and security requirements. As a business analyst, data storage and security requirements refer to documented needs and constraints related to how data is stored, protected, and managed within a system. These requirements ensure data integrity, availability, and compliance with legal and organizational standard. Well, in short, as a BA, we need to make sure the system keeps data safe and organized. Like locking important files, making sure only the right people can see them, then following rules so nothing gets lost or stolen, because data of customer is invaluable. So doing means practicing such things helps keep data correct, private, and available whenever needed. And on this basis, as a business analyst, we gather the requirement, or like data storage requirement, data security requirement, and it is a subset of non-functional requirement. Here we only think that how it work and not about what the system does. Means it is not functional requirement, it is purely non-functional requirement. See what means, we generally ask stakeholder while we are gathering the requirement. Generally we ask them where data will be stored. Means example, we consider, we decide where to keep the data, like on the company server or on the cloud, or it should be hybrid. Means data should be shared in the company server or and the cloud, something like that. We ask them, and on the basis of that, we noted it down what exactly the stakeholders decision. Then how it will be protected, example encryption or access control. Means we figure out how to lock the data so no one can unauthorized person can see it, like using password or scrambling info with encryption. Something like that will happen while the protecting the data. Then most important, who can access it. Means we will give some rules. This is called as authorization rules. So we set some rules who can get their data, and certain people can view or change it, and certain people can't see it, something like that. Means in the in the technical terminology, we call them, we call it as a CRUD. Means CRUD permission: create data, read data, update data, delete data. So this is little bit technical thing, and you will understand. Means not that much, means we are not the one who are going to create it. We just get, my job is to to give you the familiar, to get you familiar with this particular terminology. So it will not be a shocker for you to listen anything new whenever you join any project. And the last is what policies govern data retention, archival, and deletion. So we also decide how long to keep data, when to move it to storage, and when to safely delete it, so the system doesn't hold on old stuff forever. So such things we generally ask for data storage and security requirements. Let's go deeper with this particular thing with example. So common data storage requirement means whenever we go to the stakeholder regarding collecting the data storage requirement, we generally divide it into requirement types: storage location, data format, then redundancy, then retention policy, then archival policy. So on the basis of that, we gather the requirement for stakeholder. Whereas on the other hand, when it comes to data security requirement, then we will focus on the areas like authentication, authorization, encryption, then audit trail, then data masking, means which data can be seen, which data can be masked, means it is not visible to apart from a specific bunch of users, then backup. So all these things we will generally discuss with the stakeholder while we working on the data storage requirement and data security requirement. Now let's apply this data storage requirement and data security requirements on loan management this system, and let's see how table is developed. In this way, it means this is the actual data storage requirement, and we, as we are going through the loan management system of no major bank, so we consider four column: ID, requirement description, source, and priority. So we just, for sake of simplicity, we provided ID as a DSR one as for storage. And the DSR is that all what is the requirement? Then all loan application data must be stored in a secure database hosted within the USA. So AWS Ashburn VA region is considered that here entire data should be stored. So see, the data storage, where the data should be stored, this requirement is getting clear. So from where we generally get such information, which stakeholder we need to pick? So compliance officer is the perfect person for this, and the priority is high for such a requirement. Similarly, DSR2 is developed, DSR3 is developed. Then means such requirements gets built up. Means it depends upon the kind of project you are working on. So I just providing you the example. You can go all the requirement means one by one just by pausing the video as well. Then similarly, data security for loan management system, means data security, again that ID is provided, or and the requirement is that all data must be encrypted in transit and REST AES 256 standards. So generally such source of such requirement is cyber security officer, and again it is priority is very high. So such requirements we get from the stakeholder, and we need to identify the stakeholder as well. And in this way, business analysts work in the organization. So see, you can now understand how much it is important to the role of business analyst when working on any project. And every time getting the requirement and right requirement is very very important. Let's see the sources of data requirements. Means we have considered that we need to get the data requirement, but from where we are getting? So we will get it from stakeholder inputs, like means we will go to IT security officer, we will go to compliance officer. From there we can get the stakeholder data requirements. Then regulatory requirements, like RBI, GDPR, I mean, whatever the government bodies are there. Then IT infrastructure policies, then industry based practices. So there are manuals are there. From there also we refer such manuals, and we collect all the data requirements for all this source and try to create a proper data storage and what I can say, data security, data element, data attributes, perfect data requirement from the stakeholder, and we need to provide it to the developer. So where we need to means we now we have understand the importance of data requirement, but where we need to include it, means as a business analyst we create few documents. So the business requirement documents, we will include this, then functional requirement documents, then non-functional requirement document, then in few company means security requirement specification. This is a very rare case this particular document is used, but in this document also we can add it. It's not like that we add entire thing in a single document. Okay, business requirement document, it will only we will only use the data field name, means only data element. We will not go that much of detail. But when it comes to non-functional requirement and functional requirement, we need to go detail about what exactly stakeholder wants. So as a BA, there are pro tips for you. So means it's not like that we are assuming the data requirement. Okay, it is the thing which we can't assume. Means as a BA, nothing we can't assume. Everything we need to concern stakeholder, we need to concern our technical team, and on the basis of that the documents are created. So what tips for BA are here? Always ask IT and security stakeholder early in the project, very important. Don't assume it, what I just and I'm repeating again, don't assume it. Validate all security expectation with domain expert. Then ensure traceability of this requirement to business goal or compliance need. We will create traceability metrics for that. Prioritize security and storage need based on the risk assessment. So we need to prioritize such requirement as well. So quickly let's see the importance of data requirement again, and wrap up this particular topic, and we will move to users. As a business analyst, what should be our perspective? We'll just read it out. Data attributes means, data element I am talking about, data field I am talking about. Define essential details the system need to capture, ensure accurate complete data for business operation and decision, prevent data quality issues that affect analysis and outcome. Then data, as far as data storage and security requirement are concerned, specific where and how data is stored. Then ensure data protection through encryption, access control and policies, support compliance with legal and organizational standard, maintain data integrity, confidentiality and availability. Then data structure, organize and group data for efficient storage and retrieval, helps connect related data for seamless processing, enables the system to manage data logical and consistently, and support performance and scalability of the solution. So all together, this is all about data requirement. Now we will move to next topic, what is users. A user is an individual or a system that interacts with software application to perform tasks, retrieve data or complete a business process. Means system can't work automatically. There should be someone who is going to interact. Means user is basically anyone or even another system who uses the software to get things done, like entering information, checking data or finishing a job. So there are broadly two types of users are there: human users and system user. Human users are actually people who use the system or who use the software, like customer submitting a loan request online, a loan officer who is reviewing and processing the request. Whereas system user, it is another software, means external or internal system that interacts via API or backend integration. For example, credit bureau is the system checking the applicant's credit score via API. So the credit bureau is different system, our loan management system is different software, and both the systems are connected with each other. So we will consider as it as a other system as well. So this is nothing but a user. Means other system is also considered as a user. So knowing your user is also very important. Now let's move and check user role. User role defines a set of permission and responsibilities assigned to a user within a system. It determines what actions user can perform based on their role. Means in short, user role is like a job title in the system. It decides what a person can do, like what buttons they can click or what information they can see. So what are the characteristics of user role? If we see here, let us consider access level, means what kind of access level they have, means what screens, data and function as a user they can see or use it. Then what kind of responsibilities as a user they should have, means task like assigning to a user based on their job function, means as far as their job function, a few responsibilities are given to particular users. Then restriction, this is also very important, prevent users from accessing unauthorized part of the system. Means we can prevent also user, okay, you don't have the permission to go there. Such things are also kind of things are going in the user permission or user role. So this is we can call them as a restriction. Let's see the example are best way to understand. Means a loan officer can create and process loan application. Okay, very good. A branch manager can approve or reject loan. Means this is now very important. Loan officer can create, process loan, but loan officer is not having ability or that power to approve or reject loan. He only, means as a loan officer role, he can only create the loan application, something like that, but can't approve and reject loans. So that power, that role is of branch manager. Then a customer can apply for loan and check their loan status. Yeah, this is again very reasonable, but again, customer who apply for loan should not have the ability to approve the loan by themselves as well. So this power goes to the manager. So user role defines the power of any users, and as simple as I can tell you. And to perform our task, user should need certain permissions. So that's why we are going to see what is user permissions. A user permission is a specific authorization that determines what actions a user can perform within a system. Permissions are assigned based on user roles, ensuring users only have access to the functionalities they need. Means permissions are likely keys that let user to do certain things in the system, like view the data, make changes in the data. So this key come from their role, so everyone only gets what they are required. To make it more easier, let us consider WhatsApp and WhatsApp group admin. The group admin of WhatsApp can add or remove people, change the group name, control who can send message, etc. Whereas on the other hand, a regular member can only send message, read other message, and maybe change their own profile picture, but they can't remove anyone or can't change the group setting. So this is exactly how user permission work in the system. The role like admin or a member decide what permissions each person has and what they can or can't do inside the system. As a business analyst, it's our job to define these roles and permission clearly so that system gives the right access to the right people, and definitely will take concern of stakeholder, means deciding this thing only before of the only permitting by the stakeholder, we will decide the user roles. So now let's see the same example or same user permission with our loan management system. So here we consider two column, user role and permission. So let us see customer, who is the applicant. So permission to the customer that apply for loan, upload the document, check loan status, and after that customer get relaxed. Then loan officer, he has something a permission with create a loan application, edit loan detail, view assigned loan application, something the permission loan officer should have. Then branch manager, this particular means role should have approve or reject loan application, view all branch loan application, then assign loan to the officers as well. Whereas the other last user role is that admin. What admin do? Manage users or role, configure system setting, generate report. Means admin is the highest permission which he can have the access of all the data. So this is all about user permission. For simplicity, I have created summary table of key users role and their action. So in this way, actually we create our document for the any BID or FRD. So action, apply for loan. In front of customer it is tick, in front of loan it is cross, loan manager cross, system admin also cross, compliance officer is also cross. So it is just imaginary, don't get that much serious, but I am telling you that in this way this particular summary table is created and we need to provide it to the developer as well. So who can upload document, who can view the loan status, who can verify the credit score, then approve and reject, then modify payment schedule, something like that. All the actions required by the as per the user role, there are right and wrong, means permission and not giving the permission is there provided, and on the basis of this particular specific requirement or specific information, I can say developer develops the system. Let's conclude this thing, user roles and user permission, and we'll see business analyst perspective in it. Users means here identify who interacts with the system, understand user needs to design relevant features and workflows, ensure system usability and diverse user groups. Whereas user role defines sets of responsibility, permission based on job function, control system access and action users can perform, help align system functionality with business processes, reduce risk and unauthorized access or errors. User permissions specify exact authorization tied to the user roles, ensure users have appropriate access, no more, no less. Then protect sensitive data and critical system features, guide development and testing to secure access control. We have already seen all these things in detail, but I'm just compiling all the three user role and user permission on a single screen. With this, I can say that we have now enough understanding of what is data requirement, user and user permission. Now let's conclude this topic. A clear understanding of data attributes, storage and security ensures accurate, organized and protected information handling. Defining users along with their user roles and permission helps control access and support a secure, efficient user experience. Together, these elements form a backbone of a well-structured, compliant and user-focused system or software. I hope now you have a good idea of data requirement and user roles and permission. In the upcoming tutorial, we will explore understanding error handling, validation technique, writing user stories, use case, and applying the invest method to create clear, effective requirement. So before we wrap up, just one last thought to leave you with. Thank immensely for sticking around. If this video helped you even a little, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and drop any questions in the comments. I love hearing from you. And most importantly, smash that subscribe button so we can explore the awesome world of business analysis together. Catch you in the next one. Thank you very much.